Hello, I am Salukis, and in today's video I am going to be just going over what this build helper button is. If you can't see it, it's on the right side of the screen here. And what this does is say we want to have a spike here. So, the cube needs to jump over the spike, but I'm feeling a little bit tricky, so I want to have the spike move over one. So we're going to set it to group 1, because in order to have the spike to move, we need to set it to a group. So you'll click edit group when you go to the spike, and you'll set it to 1. Next, you'll set this target group ID to 1. And then after that, you'll want to switch it to however far to the right we want. So since the positive direction would be right, then we want to do positive 20. So I'm not going to put any easings right now because that's for a different thing. And as you can see, our thing moves. But say we want this to move. We want to have another spike that moves. And so you could just do this. You could just do it, have the spike here, set it to group 2, and then do the same thing here. You would get a spike. You'd get a move trigger, my bad. And you do the same process. But there's a different way to do that. Select both of these triggers. Select the trigger and the spike. Copy paste it on that button in the top right. Now we're going to move this over. Now hit the pause button in the very top right. And on the right side of the screen, right under the gear, there's the build helper button. Press that button. Now as you can see, it set it to group 2. So this is group 2, and this says it's target group ID 2. So, as you can see, the spike moves over. What this does, you can do this in large form. See, you can have, maybe you have like a rotate trigger you want to use, and you don't want to make the rotating trigger all again. All you have to do is you just have to, first, what you'll do is, let's make like a tiny little pinwheel here with the spikes. And let's get a little pulse dot in the middle. Now, let's have a rotate trigger here. And we're going to set these 4 spikes on the outside to group 3. So our target group ID would be 3. Because that's the spikes, and the center group ID would be the circle, since it's in the center of the spikes. So we want to set this to group 4. And let's just say we want it to rotate once, so we'll times 360, 1. We're just going to move this down a little bit. Okay, so now we have our pinwheel here, and as you can see, those spikes move, and then the pinwheel moves. I know it looks a little bit weird, but that's besides the point. So what we can do, we're going to do the same process, copy and paste in the top right. We're going to set it over here. And then what we're going to do is right under the gear, press the build helper button. And as you can see, it set the pinwheel from a different group. So now you can see that it moves the same, except that's an editor bug that it moves like that. So now it works, and what I can even do is I can select all of this and I can move it over like so, and then I click pause, and then under the gear I click the build helper button, and as we play the level, pinwheel, and we could copy in theory, we could just copy this and do the same process. So that's why it's easier to, instead of going through, let's set this to a new ID. So this is a very helpful, trick that you can use. Alright, that's all I have for today's video. Sorry for the notifications, but, well, hopefully you can, if you found this video helpful, maybe you could like or even subscribe, because yeah, that would be nice. Sorry that my commentary is not that good, but I try. I'm kind of new. So I will see you in the next tutorial.